Hello, everyone. Today is the beginning of lying season. Yes. Um, I'll just leave it like that because uh, all those years celebrating the biggest lie that was told for the first 200 years. Um, I uh, and you hear all these people, and they just started already. I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. Thank you. Thankful for what? I can't tell. But we have been conditioned to believe that's what you're supposed to do. I have been at some families' houses and they stand around the table with all this yummy food that half of it's going to go to waste. And there's people all over the world that's starving because they can't get even a crumb to eat. But we have all this food and it's just all around yummy, just ready to be eat. And they stand around talking about all the stuff they're thankful for. In the next 24 hours, them same people, most of them won't even know you, won't even care if you're dead or alive. But this month has been a really bad month for me. But I don't let it. Well, this one is real getting. It's really getting to me. I can't even talk anymore. It's just so emotional that um within the last week I lost my nephew. That now you'll see a lot of posts on my Facebook page and every page I got everywhere I go. I'm going to be talking about how much I hate my family. And this is a new hate. This is a hate that's never going to end because the very last thing that could have brought us together is gone. The last two things that could have brought us together is gone. My nephew, talk about him, he was the only one between me and my family because you have step families and they, you know, um, and he was the only one that both of us liked it. And he's the only one that was nice. He's the only one that treated everybody fairly. And he's the only one that I know of didn't snake nobody, talking about each other around behind their back, lying on each other like the rest of them. You know, I mean, yeah, yeah. The rest of them, they were just neutral. They had the attitude of, I don't care if y'all don't never talk to each other. He's the only one that showed me some love, even though we didn't speak. He never called me. He never came over my house. Well, he might have. I ain't gonna say never. Um, I hadn't talked to him since my other nephew passed away. I haven't talked to him since the funeral of my other nephew. Now these are the nephews by the same mother. Uh, my older sister that she already told me she don't want nothing to do with me. She don't want to talk to me, which is fine. I mean, because it's been like that for the last 40 years. Um, I think up until we got in our 20s, we used to go to each other's house, talk, party. That's all we did. That's the only thing that we had in common was party. Uh, but my nephew, I didn't even know he was sick. They don't tell me nothing. They didn't even tell me my father was sick in the hospital. I had to find out my father was dead on Facebook. Okay. And I didn't know he was sick, my nephew. So he was in the hospital. He got out the hospital. I done heard so many different stories. I don't know which one to believe, and it don't even matter. Um, oh boy. And the reason why I say it's a darn shame because he was sick, and they I wish they had took better care of him. They left him in the house by himself, and he had to die alone. And then next couple of weeks, I find out that my mother's house was sold for back taxes. Now, I'm not going to give up on it yet, but I did call, and they told me that um, the back taxes have matured. Somebody's, you know, zoomed in on there, like vultures. That's what they do. These people are not out to help you. They out to take and profit off of your uh, whatever the problem is. My problem was having stupid people as family members, and my mother and father being so naive, so not looking at the real world, not being true to themselves, going to leave a house to family members that hate each other. What did they think was going to happen? And nobody could talk to them. Nobody could really, because I grew up with family members that would, parents that what they say is the bottom line, you know. Uh, and the ones that talked to them all the time, that was their favorite, that loved them so much, couldn't talk them sense into them. And these are the very ones that set up and let the house be sold for back taxes. And the sad part about it, that really gets, this is not really what gets me upset. What really gets me upset is that I had to be born into a messed up family, such a dysfunctional family that I was. It all starts from the top. Top. Um, Now, this house is like 1,000 miles away from me, for most of the family, knowing damn well ain't nobody gonna go live in no Mississippi, in the country. But the family member that stays right next door to my mother let her child go live in my mama's house rent free and never paid the tax. Only paid the taxes for one year. The taxes are only 500 and something dollars a year, and couldn't even do that. So, um, me and my kids was going to try to save the house earlier this year. So I got everybody, I got everybody, our sisters together. Well, I reached out to him. And for a week, we was talking. We was going to, on my end, we was going to pay the back taxes. We was going to get a lawyer. We was going to, because the house is still in my dad's and mom's name. Okay, we can't even get together to get the name. If we had to put the house in our name, the taxes could have been free because people over 65 don't have property taxes in Mississippi. Couldn't even do that. And my nephew, my dumbass sister, I call her a bitch. I don't. She don't have a name to me no more. Let her son stay in that house rent free and couldn't even make him pay the taxes on the house. But she gonna let him rent free. And then when we found out that the house was about to get taken because of the back taxes, we was going to do everything. But we said you have to sign this contract because I know how my family is. They'll make you want to shoot them. So we had this contract made, and all they had to do was sign it, and we would have took care of everything. We was going to pay the back taxes. We was going to get the house in order, and our plan was to get a lawyer. And in the meantime, while we trying to get this house in our name, we was going to rent out the property, so the house would be maintained and money coming in to pay for the utilities and the taxes and all that stuff. Them bitches don't say no. We don't want to rent the house out. Right there. That was the end of that was the end of it. And they're gonna try to tell me, and your daughter can't get her money back. She gonna have to divide it all even, and you give her the money that she spent. I like, you know what, you bitches don't ever talk to me ever again. Fuck you. And I deleted their numbers, and I haven't talked to them since. And the sister that's down there, she sat up there and let them take that house. $60,000 property. She let them get them for back taxes. This is why I'm waking up where I'm thankful that I don't live there. I'm thankful that I can't see my nephew right now because I don't know what would happen. And he's already um, skating on thin ice because there's a lot of people up here that wants him hurt. I just put it like that. Because even though his mama can't do nothing with him, but we can. And it makes me so mad. Now, this is how my family is. I just wanted to make this, I just want to talk about this. Now, my mother, she passed away first. That's her heart. And my mother, she was nice. She was cool. But she married, she had a bad taste in men like we do. It was, it's been passed on. And I realized as I had got older that a lot of my mother's family didn't like us because of my father. Because see, I grew up with 12 aunts on each side and never had a relationship with none of them. Never. This is her. Um, I don't know what you call this, obituary layout. I don't know what you call it. And this is and at the funeral it was was it was beautiful and everything, but of course my family showed their true feelings. I got up first, and this is what I said at my mother's funeral. Our mom, Cora Bell Gaten Martin McGee, was perfect, as much perfect can be for a hard-working, beautiful African woman living in America. She gave us what we wanted and needed. Our mom accomplished all she needed and wanted to make her life easier in this depressed, oppressive world we live in. I remember, wait a minute. She was not complicated and complimented everything she touched. She is beautiful, lovely, wholesome, a giant, fearless, only fearing the Lord in a humble way, and want to live by the Lord's will and guidance. She is a part of us, and we are a part of her, and a part of a family that look to her for strength and example. We shall miss her and cherish our memories of her for the rest of our lives. And then I brought up, I remember this, I tried to think of something that I learned from her. She told me it was difficult. But I remember she told me, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. And I am looking back now, I know exactly what she meant. And she always told me to give it to the Lord. Which I think is the dumbest thing you could say. Give it to the Lord. And what? And then what? Well, that's their faith. They live most of their life by faith, and that's not good, especially in the real world. You got to tell kids the real deal. You have to tell them, stuff that is sustainable. Uh, and after that, my aunt and my uncle got up there and started spewing so much venom against my mother. My uncle got up there and said my mother had a baby when she was a teenager. And that, I was like, what? I didn't even know that. We all looked at each other. I'm like, why? I made a video about that too. But why did you have to get up in my mother's church and say that? That was a teenager, could be 19, 18, but he said teenager to make it sound like she had a baby when she was 13 or something, bringing her down just because I said my mother was perfect. And they gonna get up there and make sure no the fuck she wasn't. And then my aunt got up there and started talking about, oh, she had secrets. Oh, she had little nicknames for all of the boys at school and all that. I was like, ain't that a bitch? I'm like, wow. They saying all this stuff. They didn't say nothing good about my mother. They didn't bring up the fact that she sold good, that she could cook good, that she raised six girls, or five, one died. They didn't say anything nice about my mother. Me saying that my mother was perfect pissed them off so bad that they couldn't they lost their mind. Uh and you see this. Oh, it was beautiful. And my sisters and stuff, my sister down there or whatever, they did not ask me nothing about how the funeral should go. I had no say in nothing. And then they gonna order some shirts with my mother's face on them and didn't even ask me. They come walking out the house with these shirts on. Didn't even ask me if I wanted a shirt. I know, sometimes I like, I know it's embarrassing to my kid that why do these people treat my mother like that? What did my mother ever do to make them feel, treat her that way? I wish someday somebody could answer that question because I don't know what I did. Because we all treated each other like shit. I had to fight all my sisters but one. Yeah, I had to fight all. I mean, literally, physically fight them. Um, yeah, look how beautiful that is. Beautiful. Now, look at the one that they got for my father. That nephew that stayed in the house that didn't pay the taxes? He didn't even go to my father's funeral. Stayed next door. He tell me he had to work. And they let that punk stay in his house rent free. They couldn't even go to the funeral. This is his obituary. Oh, my mom's funeral was big. Oh, the whole family went there. Whole family from on both sides. And well, but and they ain't gonna lie. Talk about the pallbearers. Gonna put my nephew. I will not speak his name on here. He didn't even come to the funeral. And then I'll take 77 grand in great grandchildren. Just lying. See, that's how family treats you. They didn't like my father. Yes, he was a mean. Yes, he was mean. But he made sure that every one of my mother's kids had a roof over their head, had money, had food, had everything they needed. That's okay. It's okay. Cause see, my father, our kids, I only have one real full sister. The rest of them is stepsisters, and I don't get along with none of them, and none of us get along. So it's. And then in the burial, they buried my mother above the ground and put him under the ground. Uh, thankful for what? You know what I'm thankful for? I'm just gonna say this because I say it all the time. I am thankful for I was able to have two out of six children that really care about me. The rest of them don't care about me. They hate my guts. I got one that won't. I haven't talked to in oh I don't know how many years. Um, I'll just say in the last 10 years, I think I've talked to her maybe 5 times. I just put it like that because I don't know. Um, it's like I don't talk to him in 2 years, then I may talk to him once, and then I don't talk to him for another 2 years, something like that. And uh, But I tell you, it's a shame. It's a shame that we got family like that. And if we don't do something now with these young kids, it's gonna always be that way. Because I do blame it on, we um people my age literally had grand great parents that may have been enslaved. And a lot of people my age, their family came from the South, wasn't very educated, had to live through Jim Crow. And our attitudes were uh, structured around that. And that's got to change because not only because the world is changing around us and we have reached a peak where if you ain't got it together, you just you hit. We have to be more positive. We're gonna have to show our kids more positivity because they're not learning it from school. They're not learning it from social media. They're not learning it from the government because you see the government is ghetto as hell. And who knows if it's gonna be worse? Who knows if it's gonna be worse the next time? So we have to get our kids prepared and ready to be power structured, power thinking. Because right now we're showing our kids too much weakness. Because that is weak as fuck to sit up there and let your mother's house be taken because of back taxes. And it's also weak as hell to sit up and keep letting family members get locked away like animals. Don't they know that they look like animals in there, locked up in the cages? You're not an animal. You are a human being that's supposed to be treated with respect. It's supposed to live out your purpose. A lot of these people think they were born to wreak havoc on the world. It's time for us to make a change. That's why I have a series coming out about um, studying attitudes and opinions. Because right now, we are living in a very opinionated world. You get on, every time you cut your phone on, you're looking at a bunch of opinions. And I recommend everybody read the book When the World Was Black. We created civilization. We started civilization, but you know what happened? I'm gonna say this forever. When they came out those Caucasus Mountains with their mass destruction weapons, all peace and quiet was gone. They started destroying the world, building high buildings, blowing up mountains, closing up rivers, polluting the earth, and and it's killing us. We put the cruelest people ever born in charge. And we do that because of the Europeans with their mass destruction weapons. Because if they didn't have the mass destruction weapons, they would not be in power. And they know that. That's why they have weapons and they have psychological weapons because they have manipulated us to the point where we think we're free. And even though every day we are proving that we're not. And nobody want to ask the real question, why is crime rampant in your neighborhood? Why we don't have our own news station, our own radio station? Why we are still treated like dirt? That we literally had somebody running for office. They called, like I said, we need to make a change. And please subscribe and comment. And let's talk about these opinions. Because opinions, we don't teach our kids this, but your attitude really dictates your behavior. Yeah. Let us help these kids understand why you do the things you do. Is that really who you are? And we need a criminal justice system that is going to be into prevention, not lock them up. Because it's a shame there's so many people out here that's missing family members because they're locked up, because they did things, because their attitude was messed up. And a lot of people are grieving family members because somebody woke up with a bad attitude. You literally have to bury somebody because they went to the wrong door to go to work and got shot because they went to the wrong door because somebody woke up with a bad attitude. Or somebody had to lose their life because somebody had a bad attitude and wanted to speed and then run into your car and kill you and your family. Um, and we never get a justice system that helps us to understand this and how we can prevent this from happening. I want to know why. Why did you kill that boy? Why did you rape that child? I want to know. And the justice system is a joke. I'm going to talk about this. DUI. Why are we still having DUIs? People with 5 DUI charges. I still say to this day, and I used to drink and drive. When you get caught drinking and driving, that should be a 10-year automatic system. But you know they ain't gonna do that because you got more white people drinking and driving than anybody on this planet. Why you have to bury somebody because somebody decided to go out and drink and get high and party and then drive and cause a bad accident? And why are people going to prison living their best life? You know, when they had that thing, I'm get off of this. I'm get off after this. You remember when they had that saying, "You won't see the light of day again"? That was true because they put their asses in dungeons. They say a harsh um, punishment. You know how harsh it is to wake up every morning knowing somebody killed your child? If I had my way, they would be in dungeons and they will not see the light of day. And they would have to go to the pain room every day to relive what they did. You got too many people out here that don't give a damn about going to jail. And I was one of them because, but that was serious. People going to jail for much harder, I mean, and terrible killing kids, whole families. Oh, let me go. Let me go. I didn't went from one thing to another, but I'm so bad right now. I'm telling you, right now, I am in a place where I have to get out of. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Uh, Be careful out here. Stay strong and forget we are all human and we all make mistakes and we all have our own issues. Don't get mad. Just get glad and be about your feelings. Learn your feelings and check your feelings. Thank you.